thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
It is Monday.
It is Monday. It is a cold and dry Monday. Mm-hmm. And we are here in the building. Spark FM Online, number one for urban and Caribbean music. Welcome back to the airwaves.
To the shite.
Yes.
Back into it. Back into the groove.
You gotta just ease yourself in it, and there you go. You're good to go after that. Yeah. Good morning. Quick check-in. Miss Tony, Rockstone Triz is in the building. What y'all saying? What y'all doing? Give me a little bit of something.
What you say?
I'm good. I had a great weekend. I'm good. Check-in is good. It's Monday. I'm not the Mondayest person, but, we're going to make it work. We're going to make it happen.
Make it do what it do, shouty.
I had a good weekend. We celebrated Alicia's 40th birthday at her masquerade ball on Saturday evening.
Which was very gorgeous.
Which was a time. Gorgeous. It was absolutely, enchanting.
Big shout out to Angelina and the band.
Oh, yes. Angelina and the band. And I didn't get the name of the people who did the decor in the 360 booth.
Oh, yeah.
But what a fantastic little couple and everything that they did.
And their little helper.
Little helper. The place was absolutely gorgeous, and it was a really, really good time. We danced, we laughed, we listened to the band, we rapped, we sang, and it was a really, really good time. A good chance to get dressed up and go out and be adult-like. So that was really, really fun. And then yesterday, I stayed in my bed for as long as I could, and then I left the house and came right back to my bed. So that was my day.
That sounded like a good weekend.
Yes, it was a very good weekend.
A little mixture of here and there.
Excitement and then...
Yes. What about you, Rockstone Triz, miss?
I was hanging like a hanger in the closet. I was hanging like a hanger in the closet.
God damn, is that good or is that bad? Sometimes the hanger in the closet just be hanging in there.
You just be
and then other times it got some fancy hanging on it.
Nah, I relaxed. It was too cold to go anywhere this weekend.
It was cold this weekend. And then it snowed too for a good bit of the weekend. Yeah, you're right. I feel you.
I did the same, except that yesterday I got up and I went to Pilates. I'm beginning. I think I like it. I love it. It's almost like lifting weights, except you're not doing any heavy lifting and it's not bad on your knees. And you get a lot of stretching. I've noticed that my body feels real scrounged up. Like, it feels like it's very compact. Like, everything is just in a ball, just inside. And I need to release them and the stretching is so, you get a good back stretch and some side stretch and all the stretches. You're using them little stupid things. It is quite. But when you go into a Pilates studio, it's very frightening because those things look very old school torture.
Yes.
Yeah. It looks just like you're going into a torture pit, but then you technically are being tortured, but it feels good. So it's very interesting. Big shout outs to Shanita over at C2C Wellness.
Because that's what it does, right? You put your body in it and it just stretches you out.
It stretches you right out, like your legs, your back, your arms, especially your back and your neck. And you got to really pay attention. It's deliberate and it does really work you out and you do feel it.
That's the kind of exercise that I need. Just strap me into a machine. You ever see those old 1950s housewife exercise things? Yep. And they just strap themselves into a machine and it'll judge them up or something like that, or fold them. That's the kind of exercise I need to do. Put me in a machine and exercise me. Fold me up and things.
What I gotta do.
I think they stopped making those because they didn't really work too well.
Oh.
Because you wasn't moving. You gotta really move your muscles. This one you are working. At one point, because I did the intermediate class and I'm not there yet. And at one point I stared at her down do you know that I'm a person? Like, I'm a human being. Just stretch. I'm 40 years old on top of that. My knees. Child, but big shout outs to her. It is a practice that if you get into, you will appreciate it, I feel. And on top of that, something just reminded me of something. Oh yes, I'm still, though they don't want to hear it anymore, but I'm still obsessed with my dog. I'm spending countless hours roaming the internet finding it or what it is, and we're gonna get there. Hi, Larry Jordan. He's my friend. I had to call and speak to Larry Jordan the other day so I can get on the right path of this journey.
Of this dog journey.
Yes, because you dog people don't know ish. You gotta talk to real people.
You can't go by Larry Jordan because Menace is a different type.
Millie is her opposite, so he deals with both of them.
I don't know her.
Yeah, that's a little white one.
Oh,
yeah.
I've never seen her.
She's all over the place, but he don't take her out too much. Yeah, he's like, she got to stay inside a little bit. But you know, like it's one of those things that if you're not about that life, you'll never be about that life. But if you get prepared, I think that it is a cool thing from what I hear from people.
Yeah.
Emotional support. Yes.
What did you get an emotional? There was a peacock in my dream last night. I just
You want an
remembered
emotional
that.
support peacock?
Somebody has an emotional.
Yes, they do.
Oh, our Nefertiti, Narissa.
Yes, Narissa.
Yeah,
What do
Narissa.
you mean an emotional support? What?
She has an emotional support peacock. Her husband bought her that.
Where does she live? Where does she
Florida.
They live in Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
They can do that there.
Yeah, so and that's what she has, and that's crazy, and that's, hey, whatever. There's emotional support monkeys, emotional support squirrels.
That's what I really wanted. I always in my life wanted a monkey.
well,
I was watching.
you gave birth to one.
I watched Baddies.
Baddies and daddies.
Oh,
No.
Baddies South.
The what's her name?
Baddies
The girl
Caribbean.
with the chin.
Natalie
Natalie
Yeah.
show. And one of the girls had a support dog on the show.
Oh, really?
She was mad because it wasn't trying to let her keep it on the show.
The thing is that she's got to get it certified as a support dog. I've been seeing all these advertisements and things pop up. You get your pet certified as a support dog. That way you could go anywhere you wanted to go.
Yeah.
I think Megan Thee Stallion's Foe might be a support dog too, because Foe be everywhere with her.
What is it? Foe is a dog?
Foe is a dog. She got Foe and something else. There's two little puppies.
Oh, really? I've never heard of those.
Adopt a white child.
Yeah, they got their own Instagram. And
Adopt a white child?
Jesus Lord.
You call it a monkey.
Who's that? Larry Jordan?
Yes.
Yep.
Yo, son.
Knew who said it without even knowing who said it.
She's out of control. Out of control. Anyhow, people, let's get into the show because we got a lot to cover today. Like I said, it is Monday. It is a brand new week, so we'll figure out what happened along the weekend that we should know about.
Whole lot.
Oh, yes, whole lot. Spark FM in the morning. Saucy and Friends starts right now.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Call Spark FM at 617-272-3387.
The only thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM.
One of the craziest things to happen in this last month is the fact that it is effing cold. It is freezing, and I mean free, not effing like this curse word. I'm saying freezing, okay? It's freezing.
Está frío.
Está frío.
Mucho frío.
My God, it's so cold.
Which is so crazy because this summer was the hottest summer on record.
Exactly.
Well, the summer that just passed was the hottest summer on record ever.
I think Tristan might have called it.
Yeah.
I think he might have said
it's
gonna be a cold winter, but it is cold because
The climate is
in the
changing.
couple of months before, like the last 2 months, we were like, damn, is it gonna get cold? Because we was having like 70s and 60 degrees, and then the weather said, up, y'all want that? Here you go. Here it is.
The Farmer's Almanac did predict, yes, that this would be a pretty bad winter. But I think that they predicted a lot of snow, though. Yeah. I don't know, but
they could keep the snow.
temperature.
Like, I feel like I can deal with the cold a little bit. I don't like the snow. I think the snow should be looked at and not.
I feel like it gets
Embraced.
warmer when it snows, though.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not cold when it's actually snowing. The problem with when it snows is then when the temperature drops after, and then that causes the slick roads and all of that stuff. So that's when the
condensation.
Yes. Condensation.
Constipation. All of that. Speaking of all of that, today is Monday. It's going to be mostly sunny today, which is good. Sunny to partly cloudy, high in the 39s. Oh, we getting hot. I'm sorry.
It's getting hot in
It's
here.
almost 40 degrees. What y'all know about that?
Girl.
Winds in the west-southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight it's going to drop down to a mere 31.
Not
A
bad.
mere 31. Usually we've been getting what? 12s
Dropping
and
into the
18s
teens, yep.
and 17s and things like that. And ain't nobody got time for that.
Sure enough.
Ain't nobody got time for that. With that said, let's get into the around the way news. Let's talk about what's going on closest to us in our surrounding areas. To kick it off, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, who was just visiting with us on Friday, is now visited with New Hampshire to urge voters to write in Joe Biden. Why, is Joe Biden not on the ballot?
He's dead. Is he not on the ballot?
Is it? Boston
does
Mayor
say
Michelle.
write in.
It doesn't it? As Tristan pulls up the clip, I'll give you a little bit. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu is in New Hampshire Saturday, urging voters to write in President Joe Biden on the ballot. Wu is joined by Rep. Annie Kutster to get the message out. She demonstrated the process to write in Biden's name. Both she and Wu said a Biden re-election is critical. Let's go to this clip here because I need to understand.
Today, Congresswoman Annie Kutster and Boston Mayor Michelle Wu joined together to get that message out. Kutster even demonstrated the process to write in Biden's name. Both she and Wu say a Biden re-election is critical.
It is going to pave the way for our quality of life and for our democracy for the rest of this century.
Whether we let fear and anger and hate overpower our faith in each other and our faith in our shared future.
Mayor Wu also saying no one does democracy like New England and urged Granite Staters to uphold that tradition on Tuesday.
I don't understand why they have to write him in.
So here we go. I just had to go do a little research. All eyes are on Tuesday's first in the nation New Hampshire primary. But President Biden won't be on the Granite State Democratic ballot, even as he runs for a second term. His absence comes amid controversy between state and national Democrats over New Hampshire's place in the party's presidential nominating calendar, driven by the National Democratic desire to diversify the early voting electorate versus a state law. DNC puts that said nothing to us, huh? The Biden-backed shakeup was intended to add more diversity to the party's calendar, boosting voices of color by putting more demographically diverse states earlier in the timeline. States that vote or caucus first are widely seen as key to the trajectory and momentum of the cycle. I'm trying to figure out.
Can we get Carlos to call us tomorrow?
right
Give
here.
us all this information. All this.
This is the same exact thing. Yeah,
same thing.
New Hampshire sticks to first place status. Why isn't he? Biden doesn't file for primary ballot. After New Hampshire's move to hold the January primary, Biden decided not to file to put his name on the state's ballot. Biden was obligated to comply with the DNC's rules and skip the contest, wrote Julie Chavez Rodriguez, manager of Biden's re-election campaign, in a letter to Buckley back in October. The president looks forward to having his name on New Hampshire's general election ballot as the nominee of the Democratic Party, after officially securing the nomination of the 2024 Democratic National Convention, where he will tirelessly campaign to even every single vote in the Granite State next November. So he chose not to be on it this time so that he could be on the general one. Ain't he always going to be? Yes.
I have a little more information.
Go
on
for
it,
that,
too.
because somebody
I
needs
don't know,
to
I feel
talk
like
to
there's
me.
a whole bunch of
BS
at this
coming in.
time.
Yeah, like what is this?
Yo.
Why wouldn't he just be on the ballot for both?
Yeah, man.
I don't
get
yeah,
it.
that's very weird, and I don't know what to tell you. But in other news, alongside this, y'all boys, Ron DeSantis has dropped out of the race.
Yeah.
Yes.
He has dropped. That's in our
And has
national.
endorsed Trump.
interesting what the people are calling. Well, we'll get into this first, and then we'll go into that after.
And Trump been out there just screwing up this whole weekend.
Child, I got it.
All right, here we go. We got the story.
And the race between Donald Trump and Nikki Haley. But President Biden is facing a rather unique situation of his own. We were just talking about with Congressman Khanna earlier, because he's not even on the ballot on the Democratic side. So if voters here want to cast their ballots for the president, they'll have to write his name in. And there's a whole local effort to get voters to do just that. Joining me now is NBC News White House correspondent Mike Memoli, who's been following what's going on here on the Democratic side. So, Mike, it's hard to explain this, but do your best, quick and dirty version of like how we got here.
Well, we got here starting 4 years ago when I was following candidate Joe Biden all over the state, and they saw the writing on the wall. They knew the numbers were not looking good for them, and so he pulled up stakes. We were outside a polling place on primary day, and he said, I'm going to South Carolina. We chased him. We got him there. So the argument that they were making was that the first two states, Iowa and New Hampshire, don't represent the diversity of the Democratic Party, who should be choosing our nominee. So once he got into office, took over the DNC, as you do as the president, put South Carolina at the front of the line. New Hampshire has a law that says we have to go first. We have to go 7 days before any similar election. So that's what's happened here. The president didn't file, but there are some others on the ballot here who are campaigning, of course. And the local supporters wanted to make sure that they were demonstrating support for the president. So that's where we are. The president may win a primary for the first time in his 4 times running for president without actually being on the ballot.
Which would be something. Okay, so it's very hard to poll a write-in campaign, although he is doing better here against Donald Trump than a lot of other states. What does success look like for them? How are they defining that?
I would say that the Biden campaign is lowering expectations about what's going to happen here, but they're really just ignoring what's going to happen here.
Are they giving a number at all?
Well, privately, they'll point to the fact that there are so few precedents for this. They'll look at maybe Lisa Murkowski running as a write-in candidate, but that was a general election. You had a Democratic nominee, a Republican nominee, and a write-in.
So basically, he doesn't necessarily need it, I'm guessing. He doesn't necessarily, but because the people want to vote for him, they are encouraging a write-in ballot. Right. Okay. Okay.
And then what does that do?
What? It just shows their support. Like it just says that although he's not on the ballot, we want it to be counted that we support him in here. So it, when I think Carlos has said to us, even if you go in there and there's nobody you want and you wrote it in, you get checked off for voting number 1, and you get checked off for kind of sending a message that you're not happy with the candidates that you have. So, I'm a vote, but I'm not happy about it, or something like that.
Okay.
It's very interesting.
I was saying, can we get Carlos calling tomorrow to just kind of explain to us briefly about all this caucus business?
Absolutely.
I don't know about all this caucus.
We'll do that tomorrow. Let me put in a message. Boston woman charged with brutal assault on sister after night out.
I'll beat your ass.
I was thinking it would be you that would beat mine. So on purpose, for no reason.
I mean, I was saying this headline could have been us a few years ago.
Go read that for a second.
Boston woman charged in brutal attack on sister after a night out. What? Seriously? That's crazy. Saucy and I did have a really bad fight one night after a party. A Dorchester woman has been held on $1,000 bail after being arraigned for beating her sister in December after the two had been out drinking. Dream Gillenwater, 19, was charged with 1 count of assault and battery and 2 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, shod foot in a sidewalk. Damn! For the brutal assault of her sister back on December 8th. Boston police responded to a call for an unconscious person on 174 Ipswich Street and located the 24-year-old victim on the ground and seemingly out of breath. Officials said Gillenwater, also on the scene, appeared intoxicated and was verbally abusive.
New details on a fight.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Towards the officers. Go ahead.
No, I don't think that's it.
Oh, Gillenwater told the officers she and her sister, who has not been identified, had been out drinking, according to District Attorney Hayden. A witness told police he saw the two arguing at a bus story I think that's supposed to be stopped. And then when Gillen Waters slugging her sister in the back of the head as the sister attempted to walk away. Slugging her sister in the back of the head as the sister attempted to walk away. Police said the witnesses intervened to stop the altercation while calling 911. Video surveillance obtained from a nearby school by Boston detectives showed Gillen Water stomping on the victim's head several times. Video also showed Gillen Water standing with both feet on the victim's head and then grabbing the victim's head and slamming it against the sidewalk about 4 times. She was trying to kill her.
Yeah, she was. She's Ronnie.
The brutality, oh my God, I have episode 1. The brutality of this assault is evident from the facts, but that it was an attack on a sibling gives it an added dimension of tragedy. It's unfortunate for the victim that the witness called 911 and police responded so quickly. It's fortunate for the victim that witness called. So Gillen Water was ordered to stay away from her sister, refrain from alcohol and drugs, and be fitted with a GPS tracking device if released, according to Hayden.
Bro, why would you try to kill your sister in the middle of the sidewalk? I understand a fight. A fight is a fight.
And they was drunk.
But you was trying to stomp her head into the. What is your mommy gonna say?
She stomped her head into the sidewalk.
And then jumped on it with both feet.
And then jumped on it with both feet. And then grabbed the head in her hands and was slamming it into the sidewalk.
Oh no, my mother would be very upset.
Snyder said American History X.
No, that's not something that you do. You hit them in the back with a 2x4 and keep it moving, but you don't sit there and stomp on their head.
And you better not hit me in the back of my head with no 2x4 either.
I have never been the aggressor. How about that? All right. Okay. Let us end that there. I am the victim. I'm the poor innocent bystander on the sidewalk getting her head stomped into.
And anybody that knows you and I knows that I don't even have to respond to that.
You really? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Next story. Ex-fire chief of Martha's Vineyard allegedly shot sex tape. Oh God. Oh Lord. Allegedly shot a sex tape without consent. Why are you doing that? And this is also not a good story. Why? Because he's just an ex-fire chief. He ain't the real fire chief. He could do whatever he want to. He just be nasty if he want to. He can't get in trouble. A former fire chief of Martha's Vineyard has been arrested after allegedly recording a sex tape without consent. I don't know about this. The officer of Cape and Islands District Attorney, Mr. Mann, said Saturday that 53-year-old John Rose is facing charges of photography, videotaping, or electronically surveilling partially nude or nude persons. Prosecutors said Massachusetts State Police began investigating last month after learning Rose allegedly had a video showing a person performing sex acts on him, which was recorded without. Oh, he was recording himself getting a little hanky-panky, a little mouthful of.
Oh my
Rose was the fire chief in Oak Bluffs, Massachusetts, before resigning in 2020 amid an FBI inquiry into sexual harassment allegations and ambulance finances. Oh no, he was terrible. He was on the job.
He black.
That's what I'm saying. He was doing it while he was on the job.
Because he was in Oaks Bluff. That's where the black folks is.
That's Martha's Vineyard.
The newspaper also reported that Rose was suspended last month from the West Tisbury Fire Department, where he was working as a firefighter after a harassment prevention order was granted against him. In 2014, the Massachusetts State Ethics Commission investigated allegations that Rose violated conflict of interest law by hiring and supervising 4 members of his immediate family, oh Lord, beginning in 2009 when he was the department's ambulance squad chief. Nepotism. You're not supposed to do that. And then you're not supposed to tape somebody having the sex. Oh, there he goes. He's just a white man.
Yeah. I didn't think that he wasn't white.
Me too. I didn't think he was. I knew what he was.
What they were performing sex acts on him?
No, he was performing sex acts.
No, I thought it said sex acts on him.
No, on him. So he was like this. You know? Mm-hmm. And she didn't know because she was getting to work. Mm-hmm. And she didn't see the flash camera in the eye hole. And that's because she had her eyes closed.
Maybe she didn't know, because in the movie I was watching yesterday, the boys dared the boy to sleep with the girl. And he was like, okay. And they was like, but we gonna need proof. So then when he went to go get with her, he was like, I just wanted to make a movie of us so I could have it for ourselves. And then he did make the movie. And she was like, okay, it's just for you, right? And so they did make the movie. And then when he sent it to his friend to be proof, the friend went and sent it all over the place.
Look, that's because you can't send your nudes from your girl to your boy.
Yes.
Because what he's saying is either I'm going to get that or I'm going to send it to everybody else.
Yes. So that's that.
Terrible.
So I wonder if she didn't really know.
Police, an owner of West Roxbury convenience store is arrested and accused of dealing drugs out of the mart. In this day, I want a disclaimer before I read anything about it. In this day and age, I'm not encouraging this, but you've got to diversify your revenue streams. And right now, inflation is high. So let me just leave that there. The owner of a convenience store in West Roxbury is facing charges after allegedly dealing drugs inside the shop.
Drugs?
Isaac Rosa, 45, was arrested on Friday after receiving a community complaint regarding the alleged illegal drug dealing at Familia Grocery on Grove Street. Around 12:40 p.m., Boston police officers informed the mart owner that he was the subject of an investigation and in order to execute 4 search warrants for his person, business, vehicle, and home. Damn, they got all of them. Where's this one? This is over there by...
I don't know.
It looks familiar, but I can't. Is it in Hyde Park? Oh, it's just say Boston. During the search, police said that they found and seized, as the commercial brings up, 3 bottles of lactose.
Lactose.
Gabapentin pills.
I used to be on gabapentin.
What they do?
They are for pain, muscle. They're like muscle relaxers.
Oh, 11 plastic bags of white powder, which were cocaine.
Cocaine.
17 plastic bags of white rock, crack cocaine. 7 plastic bags of tan powder, fentanyl. 10 small blue pills delivered to Percocet. 4 large heat-sealed bags containing marijuana. Several digital scales, assorted glass stem crack pipes. A large plastic bag containing marijuana, and $1,000 in United States currency. People sell crack pipes and cracks. Like you could go get a little kit of crack.
Yes, wasn't that what they was giving out down on Mass and Cass?
You right. You right.
Crack kits.
They was giving out crack kits. They was. That was stupid, by the way. The city of the Boston. But that's
over there by Yellowbird. So that's right there in West Roxbury.
West Roxbury by T-shirt place Flash. Oh, that is terrible. He had all of it. He was not only selling chips and dip, but crack and cocaine too, and fentanyl, and a little Percocet. And if you need a little gabapentin, you get one of them. Yes. And 3 bottles of lactose.
Lactose?
Tell me what you do with the lactose.
Lactose
You cook the crack with it?
Sugar that's derived from milk, isn't it? Because there's so many people who's lactose intolerant.
So what would you do with a bottle of lactose?
I don't know.
Maybe you got to mix that with the crack so you don't get diarrhea after.
Let me see. How do you use lactose in crack?
Maybe. I'm interested. Look, he had a nice lactose. Just put lactose in drugs. We're going to cook it up today. And that was a nice one.
Lactose powder can be used in cooking as a valuable ingredient in baked goods recipes.
So, yeah, crack. That's, so you get a little crack.
It's a form of sugar, and it's not fully fermentable. Yeah, so it makes you good crack rocks.
Oh, wow. I was trying to figure out since when did gabapentin and lactose become street drugs. Yeah. You know, if you use them in combination with some fentanyl, with the fentanyl probably helps to dilute it. Yes. How do you make... I'm not going to figure out how to make fentanyl because I don't think that's something that we need to learn. Some things we should just be ignorant to.
Gabapentin works in the brain to prevent seizures and relieve pain for certain conditions in the nervous system. So I was on gabapentin when I had, like the chronic back pain that I was having. So yep.
And then still with the update, the people in Newton have officially gone to strike. Classes are canceled in Newton, so we'll be monitoring that and see.
Again today.
We'll be monitoring that as that gets to a place. We're not going to go to the story right now because I doubt that you guys have children in the Newton school system.
They might. Somebody might have kids in Metco.
Metco. Metco got a Newton?
Yeah, Newton North and Newton South.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mass General Hospital says it needs more beds to combat unprecedented crisis. What, like freezing to death because it's cold?
Oh, wow.
Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston announced Friday that it has been dealing with an ongoing capacity disaster and that it's desperately in need of more beds to help combat the unprecedented crisis. The hospital has been operating every day for the past 16 months in code help or capacity disaster status, despite the worst days of the COVID-19 pandemic being a thing of the past. According to the hospital, code help occurs when inpatient beds and monitored hallway stretchers are full, and capacity disaster is triggered when the emergency department is full. All hallway stretchers are being used, and there are more than 45 inpatients onboarding into the emergency department awaiting a hospital bed. Golly, that sucks. I don't want to be one of the patients in the hallway.
I've been a patient in the hallway before.
How was that? What is that like?
It's awful because it's just like, I'm really sick. Like, get me out of this hallway.
Yeah.
And they just put you on a stretcher. They check you in, and then they just leave you in the hallway. So people are still passing by you and all of that stuff. That happened to me at Boston Medical when I had meningitis.
Oh, no. You can't be outside in the hallway with meningitis?
Yep. I was in the hallway for like 4 hours before I received medical attention.
Let's see what's going on here.
Well, Mark, of course, the major concern being patients aren't getting the help that they properly need when they go to Mass General Hospital. One advocate that I spoke to this afternoon says that this is because of the lack of health resources and services outside of emergency rooms that are now leaving patients and their loved ones to bear the burden.
For the third week, Ramona made her daily walk down Cambridge Street and into Mass General Hospital, lunch in hand for her sister, bedridden since December.
She came in with a collapsed lung and pneumonia in her lungs. She waited 8 hours in the emergency room to get a room upstairs.
8 hours, and Ramona said her sister was one of the lucky ones. Some waiting for more than 16 hours for care at MGH, where a room isn't guaranteed.
They'll leave you in the hallway and attend to you in the hallway with a curtain.
It's awful. I don't know what this world's coming to. I really don't.
Patricia is back for the second day after waiting more than 20 hours in the ER Thursday.
I'm going to go in again, and I'm going to talk to someone and tell them that I was here. I really need to be seen.
Mass Gen saying Friday they're dealing with a capacity disaster and have been for 16 months, where at times more than 45 people in desperate need of care have been told there's not enough room.
That's not what they do.
Maura Lassard of Nurse Advocates LLC helps elderly patients leave the ER and find long-term care. The hospital now asking the state for help expanding the number of inpatient beds.
You don't want your loved one to be in the hospital beyond getting acute care.
The long-term solution in her eyes, better healthcare options outside the ER.
Getting the folks that are in the hospital out the door to free up those.
In the midst of the crisis, Mass Gen said they will continue to treat everyone to the best of their abilities, like Ramona's sister, who had to wait for critical care.
What are they doing in here?
And Mark, just in the last hour, we heard from Massachusetts Department of Health, who tells us that they haven't received any application from Mass General Hospital in the last 24 hours. They tell us when they do, they'll begin a voting process to eventually decide. For now in Boston, I'm Daniel Coates for your local station, Boston 25 News.
Hopefully things will improve there, Daniel. Appreciate it.
Interesting.
That's sad.
That is really, really sad.
But then what is the state supposed to do? What is the state supposed to do? If you don't have the staffing and you don't have the capacity, you don't have the rooms, where are you supposed to put them? How is the state supposed to come in?
Especially
and
with the
you?
staff shortage. What I don't I feel like a lot of things can be fixed with the staffing shortage if somebody says we're gonna raise wages.
Exactly.
That's it. I feel like after that, like raise wage. How you say that?
Raise
wages, and then also open up options for work from home, like a flexibility. Even if it's one day working from home and a raise, whatever it is.
Raise wages. Raise wages.
Give me some more money.
Janet said they're gonna have to start putting people 3 in a room,
which is awful too, because
I've seen that and it's ugly.
Yeah, like it's because you're right. If there's nowhere to put them and there's no people to take care of them, then there's really nothing that anybody can do unless they are paying more people.
Y'all gotta start utilizing these urgent care facilities instead of going to the emergency rooms as well, because Emergency room copay is a lot of money.
An emergency room time commitment is no less than 4 hours.
Yeah.
You're not getting out of there less than 4 hours.
That's
period.
true. Yep.
Emergency room. I mean, the urgent care sentence. You go in there 45 minutes to or whatever. They'll figure out your immediate diagnosis, and then you got to go back. Then they'll send you somewhere else. But for the most part, you can probably figure out that you just got the common cold and you need to take some liquids instead of sitting in the damn emergency room coughing and shaking.
Yeah, that's LaWanda says people also refuse to go to other hospitals. And Tina Bullock says wages isn't the only piece. They should also start opening up more urgent care offices. They do.
That's true.
How do those minute clinics and all of those things work?
Like CVS?
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust those.
Yeah, I don't want to go.
Let's see what else we have. Boston Marathon bomber's widow I can't talk today. It's not possible. Witter. So I didn't know. So explain this story.
So it's apparently the widow of Tamerlan Tsarnaev. He's the marathon bomber that also got killed in the shootout.
That's the big brother.
Yeah, the big brother. So they said that we know that he was married, and his wife basically disappeared. She was erased, according to this thing. So the Boston Marathon bomber's widow vanished after he was killed, and she did not do it alone. So U.S. officials told, this is an exclusive with this publication called The Messenger, told the Messenger that the woman who was married to Tamerlan Tsarnaev is hard to find, and that's by design. Catherine Russell pulled off a seeming vanishing act shortly after her husband, notorious Boston Marathon bomber Tamerlan Tsarnaev, was killed in a shootout with police days after the bloody 2013 terror attack. But she didn't do it alone. They have spoken to multiple sources from various U.S. government agencies who said that the FBI helped her go off the grid. The widow, now 34, fled the Boston area to New Jersey with her young daughter. She remarried, though she kept it close contact with her late husband's family while cutting off almost everyone from her old life. So basically, like witness protection.
And who she remarried to?
Exactly.
5 years ago? When was it?
No, what was that?
Yeah, this is a little bit.
The marathon bombing was 2013, wasn't it?
2013?
2013.
Damn, that was a long time ago.
10 years. Oh, 10
Damn,
years.
10 years is fast.
Yeah, so almost 11 years now.
Wow.
The daughter of an ER doctor and a nurse, Russell was raised in a Christian household with her two younger sisters. After she met Tsarnaev, she converted to Islam and grew more radical. But after the bombing, it seemed that she'd left her old life behind forever. When she moved away, we knew exactly where she went. An FBI investigator who worked on the case tells the Messenger, we had to be able to keep in touch with her, but she was somewhere that no one else could get to her. At that point, she was erased. They deleted her from a lot of public records so that she didn't have to be tracked. In the years that followed, Russell has rarely been seen in public, but there is no trace of her in public databases.
That is cool.
Yeah, like erased. Like how
Yeah.
who was that movie? Who was that?
It was erased.
Was
Wasn't
it Jennifer Lopez or was it Halle Berry who got erased? Or was it the Terminator that got
I think
erased?
it was some Bullock.
Terminator got erased?
No, it was the girl Bullock.
Sandra Bullock?
Sandra Bullock.
Oh, one of them got erased.
And Arnold.
Arnold Schwarzenegger got erased too.
Eraser.
So according to law enforcement officer in the Garden State, a search for Russell's driver's license in New Jersey comes up empty, whether it's by name, birth date, or address. While Russell and go ahead.
It was just Arnold and Vanessa Williams.
Vanessa Williams, yes.
It's very off.
I knew it was a woman in there. While Russell and Tsarnaev received welfare benefits after they were married, the assistance quickly stopped after the bombings. It's unclear whether she works. She used to be a healthcare aide. There is no record of any current certifications, and that's by design. She's hard to find.
Do you feel, or do you guys believe that witness protection, she gave them up because she knew what was going on?
I don't think anybody had to give them up, right? Because they just kind of went crazy after.
Well, maybe gave them some backstory and stuff. Like, I will say all the things and where the things came from if you make sure that me and my family are safe, or me and my child are safe. Because that's usually how it works. Like, because in order to be in witness protection, you have to have some information in which you need protection from.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that, like, she probably snitched. I would have too.
Oh, well, what they're saying that because there's a whole rest of the article asking about if it's witness protection that she's in. It's not witness protection. They said, but not everyone whose past has been erased by the U.S. government is in witness protection. I guess in witness protection, they change your name. They change everything about you. You get a whole new identity. And that's not the case here. They just erased her off the grid.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I do want to go home and watch Eraser.
She was never called as a witness at the trial of her brother-in-law, Dzhokhar Zainaev, and the other perpetrator of the Boston bombing. They said she had nothing to do with it.
Oh wow! Yep. I mean, in that case too, I feel like she should have gotten erased too, because that's a crazy thing to have to live with.
Yeah.
Is the child his?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think they had any. I don't even remember him being married.
Me either. I don't remember him being married.
No, I definitely remember her
either.
him being married. I remember she was wrapped up, and when they went and talked to them, and they were like questioning them and all of that.
Yeah, I remember now. You're right.
Very
I remember seeing that.
That is cool.
But yeah, so she was married.
And
no, the child is his.
Oh, it is.
Yep, her young daughter.
Oh yeah, see, that would be a reason to have to disappear and change my life, because I can't. Like, my child is now the heir of the Boston Marathon bomber.
Do y'all remember where you were? The day of the
Yep.
Boston Marathon? Like not the day of the marathon. The next day they were looking. The day Boston stood still.
The bombing happened on Monday.
And she worked at
I
the
was
Prudential.
there. I heard the bombs go off and saw the aftermath and all of that. The Friday,
Boy, we couldn't find her. We was like, dog, help.
I walked to Boston Medical, and Daddy came and picked me up when they finally let us out the building, because we were on lockdown for a long time. The Friday is when the whole place got locked down or whatever. Because I remember I called my job and I was like, I'm not coming into work. And they were like, yeah, we're closed. They had closed down the Copley area, and they were like, the whole city is closed down. Like, don't even worry about that. And that started at like 3 a.m. or something, right?
Yeah, I was at work at Expressway Toyota, and like I think it was that Friday too. And that whole, like, we could face the highway. There was not one single
So they still
vehicle.
made y'all go into work? Because remember, they didn't want any cars on the street or anything.
Yeah.
No taxis, like nothing.
We went into work, and we were just, we couldn't, there was nobody coming in or whatever. There was probably a couple of customers. But, like, it was just so crazy to see, because we were all like, there's not a single car on the road anywhere.
I think they had shut down the T and everything because they were like...
I was working at Silver Slipper, right? And if you didn't wake up and put the news on, you wouldn't have known that the city was shut down. So at that time, I wasn't driving. I took the bus to Silver Slipper. I go down there, and I'm waiting at the 28, and I'm waiting for the bus. And I'm like, man, it's been a while. Ain't no bus. A bus. I see a 31 go by, and then I see SWAT team on it. I'm like, am I bugging?
Yeah.
I just see SWAT team.
Yep.
Then the 28 came, and then I saw a SWAT team on the 28 going down.
Yep.
And then I was just doing my research. I took a cab down there, got there, and then I saw the news. I was like, oh, Dudley was everything. The whole city was shut down.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know where they were. So they were like, we've got to shut everything down and smoke them out.
Yep. And that's what they did. Found his little ass in a boat in somebody's backyard.
I remember that.
But they had the shootout in Cambridge that killed the older brother.
And then the officer.
And the officer, too, at MIT. Yep. And then what were they doing at MIT?
Because that's where... I don't know.
What they went there for?
I don't know.
That's weird.
Maybe they just ran that way.
Yeah, maybe.
It's crazy.
That's awful.
In this news, we were talking about all of the Walgreens shutting down the other day. So they are in heavy protest against the Walgreens system to not shut down that Walgreens, which I think we discussed that maybe it should be a different kind of protest to not only not shut it down, but to improve it. Then the falling dusk of a chilly January evening, community members gathered in Roxbury last Friday to protest the looming closure of the Walgreens on Warren Street. Amid a chorus of car horns, sign-wielding demonstrators lined up on the median, chanting, "Hell no, Walgreens!"
Oh, wow.
The pending closure would be the fourth shutdown of a Walgreens pharmacy in Boston's predominantly Black and Latino neighborhoods in about a year, raising questions about the chain's commitment to health access. The target date for locking the doors was set for this past Monday, the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, but was postponed for 2 weeks following community advocacy efforts and outreach from government officials. They're looking at profits over people. We're trying to flip the equation to look at people instead of profits, said the Reverend Miniard Culpepper, senior pastor of the nearby Pleasant Hill Ministry Baptist Church. Community members described the loss of the store as a blow to the healthcare access in the neighborhood. It serves as a prominent source for essentials like prescription medication and vaccines. Your needs are the same as ours. All of us who are human beings need to breathe oxygen. We need to eat to survive. We need medicines, said Patricia Mitchell-Seams, a Dorchester resident. It needs to be provided for all people. I wonder why we are fighting Walgreens to come back instead of urging another pharmacy to exist.
They're also closed. Remember the CVS reported last week that they're closing a CVS in Dorchester and downtown.
Which one was the
They're closing the pharmacy inside the CVS.
They're closing the CVS inside of the Target in Fields Corner.
But what about chains like Rite Aid and all those kind of things? Can't they? I wonder if there's any. And then I feel like back in the day, there used to be a lot of little home-based pharmacies, weren't there?
Yeah,
there used to be one in Upham's Corner, but I think that might have been
one on Bowden Street that actually just opened a little
home
mom and pop.
See, those kind of things, I feel like that's thinking from a business standpoint. I feel like those are a lot of opportunities for some of us Black people out here to make a business that is necessary and needed. That is something we need. We need pharmacies. We need them to be owned by Black people as well. So I feel like it's a really great business opportunity, but I feel like nobody's really thinking in that realm of business. We'll be quicker to open a fast food chain than a pharmacy chain.
I agree with you. And I also think that, let's be honest here, that Walgreens needs to close.
That
Walgreens is not a good, and it needs to close and it needs to be rebuilt. Or what I would do is that Walgreens that they closed down in Nubian Square, redo that one and let that be the local Walgreens. Because that was just a really, really convenient.
It had parking. Well, this one has parking too.
Well, this one, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know
the
what you
one
mean.
down in Dudley, it's central. It's right there in the bus station. People have better access to it. It was larger. They can really, really do that one up and do it really, really nice. What I fear is that they're going to take that building and they're going to make it into more residences. I don't think we need any more residences.
They're going to make it into a residence or a dispensary. And although dispensaries are wonderful and all, they are not the type of prescription that a lot of people need.
Right. So I take issue with all of this protest that's happening over this Walgreens closing. That Walgreens just was not a great functioning Walgreens. I understand people's sentiment that we need pharmacies in the hood, but that one is not the one that you should be fighting for.
And that's a problem that we definitely have. We are a very reactive society and community instead of a preventative, because when that Walgreens was giving everybody all that hell and people were complaining about the Walgreens, we should have been outside protesting Walgreens then, talking about we need a better store. We need better amenities and all kinds of stuff in this store. Y'all need to invest some money back into this so that it won't get shut down. And now look at us now. We can't get our gabapentin.
Yes. Not only that, this Walgreens over here in Hyde Park, on Hyde Park Ave that closed, is turning into a big ass Dollar Tree, and I'm excited.
I'm not mad.
Which one?
The one that right on Hyde Park Ave next to Shaw's.
But why else you can't just put a pharmacy in the back of the dollar store?
Right. Or put a pharmacy in the Shaw's.
And the pharmacy don't even gotta be big.
Yeah.
It just gotta be a small little place that has all the prescription with two securities outside, because people's wilding out.
Should put a pharmacy in Spark FM News Studio.
Yes.
What kind of drugs?
In that little back closet.
We're going to open a small dispensary back there for the other kind of drugs. Okay, oh gee. And then let me see. A Massachusetts man gets 5 years in prison after feds find 2 kilos of fentanyl in his cereal boxes.
What?
I mean, it's creative.
I mean,
Go ahead and say it. Everybody's always
Captain Crack.
Captain Crack.
Or
frosted cracked flakes.
Honey bunches of fentanyl. Frosted fentanyl.
Terrible. We're going to go to a commercial break and we'll be right back after a few moments with our national and world news.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rock Stone Triz.
What is this, Doctor? This is well, Spark of New England, Spark FM. Bringing the heat back to the airwaves. Turn us up. All right, let's take a look.
Did you get a call or message that mentioned Social Security that made you feel threatened or scared? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, press you for personal information, or demand instant payment. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Don't fall for it. Hang up, ignore them. Report this criminal activity to oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. Tax. Hello, I'm Marissa Jarrett Winokur. Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. 1 in every 4 Americans is infected with HPV. For many people, the virus hides inside them and they never develop symptoms. But for others, HPV links directly to cancer. My cancer almost ended my career. It almost ended me. The good news is, there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. The HPV vaccine is recommended for children 11 to 12 years old, and a catch-up vaccine may be an option for teens and young adults. Talk to your doctor. You don't want HPV hiding inside of you. Go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more. Together, we can stop cancer before it starts.
Spark FM.
I know you nasty. She be touching on her own body.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
Says she wanna take me away. Says she wanna take me away. Says she wanna show me the way.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com. Turn us up. Spark FM.
What song is this?
I know what it is because it's
mystical.
Mr. P and them.
Yeah.
Captain P. What's the name?
Mr. P and them.
What's the name of P?
Mr. P.
Masterpiece.
Masterpiece.
I was waiting for you.
I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, it's Mr. P, but it don't sound like Mr.
General
P.
P.
Captain P. Master P. And Mystical Move. No.
This
Dun,
is
dun.
make him say,
Nah. Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. P. I knew what it was. Woo!
Oh, God.
What a day. What a day.
In the stories, there is a laugh my ass off at this. You start with that. That's funny.
Tim Scott, you know that's our boy. Tim Scott has now gotten engaged to the girlfriend. Remember there was all the controversy over him with this girlfriend?
Yes.
So now he has engaged to the girlfriend on the South Carolina beach. Did you know that he was a potential Trump VP?
Tim Scott.
Oh, my God.
Shut up. Can you be quiet?
Potential Trump.
With his big stupid teeth. I can't stand to look at him. He looks like because Tim Scott looks like an angry penis. Look at it.
Wait, look at that picture that's right
exactly
there. With him next to Trump. Why has he got so much gums? Jesus.
Because you know.
Anyhow. So he finally got engaged to this girlfriend, Mindy Knows, who has been all of the headlines. But the headline that I saw today, it says, Senator Coons responds to Senator Scott's claim that the economy was better under Trump.
There is a Senator Coon, though.
There's a Senator Coons, and he's a white man, and he's against Tim Scott.
Which is a coon.
Well, who is a coon?
Yes.
Absolutely. So anyhow, that's that. Of course, the big news this weekend, as Sauce alluded to earlier, was that DeSantis has suspended his presidential campaign bid, and he's now endorsing Trump. He said that he didn't see the point of his campaign workers working on a campaign that didn't have a path to complete victory, and he feels defeated, so he has dropped out. DeSantis, that was
because DeSantis should have never pitched in his thing, because I don't even know any Republicans, like black Republicans, because these people out here be out here vying for Trump, which I don't get. Like, I feel like going for Trump is like how confused I am about racism. Like, why?
Same thing.
What is it that what do you don't like black people for? Like, what is it that you don't like? And then the thing is with Trump is like, what is it that you do like about him as a human being? It's very interesting to me. But let's go ahead.
You have a story?
No. Which one?
The DeSantis dropping out?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
All right, one second.
Is that DeSantis dropping off or Tim Coon?
It's both.
Oh, okay. Tim Coon. Ugh. Nasty work. Look at his big stupid ass face.
Oh my.
Sorry, we're on the radio.
How are you? Was it a question of endorsing Trump versus another candidate, or was it a question of Trump versus just sitting it out and endorsing no one?
Trey, that's a great question. For me, it really came down to either sitting out or endorsing someone who could lead this nation to the highest level possible, and that was simply Donald Trump. Having an opportunity to work with him from 2017 to 2020, we produced the highest opportunity zones in the nation ever. Opportunity zones actually put more resources in the poorest communities across the country. We cut taxes by $2.3 trillion. It was fantastic to work with the former president in such a way that we produced the kind of results that said to the American people, no matter where you live, no matter the color of your skin, no matter what coast you're on, no matter whether you're in a blue state or a red state, your life is going to be better because Donald Trump was president. I made the decision to endorse the president because it was the only option on the table to move
Timothy
America forward.
Scotland.
So it wasn't how do I help Nikki or how do I help President Trump. It was how do I help America? And the only way to help America.
And the thing about Tim Scott is, that Tim Scott's real name is probably Tim Spherfius or something like that. Because
Tim Sean. Tim Quan.
Tim apostrophe. Because don't know black people name their child Tim. Like
exactly.
That. So first of all, that's that. Second of all, his mother is ashamed of him. I hope. Because I'm ashamed of him as a black mother. That is ridiculous. And so I don't know what we're going to do. But Tim Scott is, yes, potential Trump VP. And he would be just so Trump could get to you.
Yeah, because Trump would use him as the black vote, not realizing that just because he's black, that we don't like him. Right. He's not our kind of black.
So DeSantis says it's clear to me that the majority of Republican Party voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed over corporatism that Nikki Haley represents. So I didn't understand that they said that DeSantis had fallen behind both Nikki Haley and Trump. I thought that he was
no. Oh. He's so vile and disgusting that I don't think that he would have even cracked a little bit of the votes. Like I think that once you go up against Disney World, you're setting yourself apart from the rest of the entire world and saying, I hate puppies. I hate sprinkles. Yeah. I burn kittens. Things like that.
People. Don't forget what you did to the black people.
And the black people.
And still doing.
And we can't read no black books, and we can't say gay, right. and we don't. And
he putting the immigrants on buses and shipping them up.
And shipping them all over the place. So, I don't think that's how you win the votes of the American people.
He said, we don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign. So that's
don't suspend it. End it and suspend yourself.
Suspend yourself.
However,
Trump.
This is where I'm hoping that next year, by next year, I'll be like, Tristan called it. Because right now, I'm still very, very, very not confident that Trump is not going to win the election.
Yeah.
Like, it's something in me that's saying, you got to prepare. You got to prepare. You got to set your business up, because that's the only good thing that's going to happen from Trump's presidency, is that I could get lots of business help.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the man should be in jail. He shouldn't be on a ballot. He should be in jail, or at least on house arrest in Mar-a-Lago.
I still, for the life of me, can't understand how this man goes from the campaign trail to the courthouse in one day, and he is still on trial, actively on trial for things, and still able to run for president. It's crazy.
He's campaigning in a state, dropping off at the court for his trial, and then he's campaigning in another state right after and talking about how he was disrespectful in the trial.
Yep.
I really don't understand what America is seeing as like, yes, this is so much couth and decorum coming from our president. We love it.
And continuing on with the couth and decorum, Trump is turning to racism to mock Nikki Haley's Indian name, and experts say it could backfire. He's doing it again. Donald Trump is reaching for racism against his political opponent, this time against former Governor Nikki Haley of South Carolina. While the former president, who's the front runner for the Republican Party, posted an attack against Haley on his Truth Social account on Friday, he repeatedly referred to her as Nimbra, a play on her birth name, Nimrata Nikki Randhawa. Haley is the daughter of Indian immigrant parents.
What's he calling her, Nimbra?
Nimbra. It's difficult to say what Trump is referencing here, whether this is one of the many spelling errors or a deliberate sign of disrespect. The same week, he referred to Haley as Nimbra, and before that lobbed birther claims, saying she was ineligible to run for president because her parents weren't U.S. citizens when she was born. He's also referred to her as bird brain, mocking her intelligence. I know President Trump well, Haley recently told CNN. That's what he does when he feels threatened. That's what he does when he feels insecure.
No, that's what he does all the time.
Yep.
Nikki.
For now, Trump maintains a more than comfortable lead against GOP rivals, as recent polling in the Iowa caucus have shown. But in a small silver lining for the former South Carolina governor's campaign, results of New Hampshire polls show Haley is a favorite among independents. Trump is no stranger to name-calling against his rivals and those whom he views as remotely threatening. The tactic is so par for the course that Wikipedia has dedicated an entire page to the list of names used by Donald Trump. When asked, if you go into the article, there's a link to it. When asked for comment on the story, Trump spokesperson Stephen Chung said, Business Insider in email, sounds like those who take offense are engaging in fake outrage. They should get a life and live in the real world. This is how Trump and his people talk?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
It is exactly how it is.
Trump has repeatedly made a point to emphasize Barack Obama's middle name, Hussein, when referring to the 44th president in a not-so-subtle Islamic
This is the story
whistle.
here.
Go ahead. Trump has deliberately mispronounced Kamala Harris's name as Kamala rather than the correct pronouncing Kamala. Go ahead. What do you have?
Coco Child.
Who he called?
Elaine Child.
Oh, God.
Let me do. Bill Clinton, he calls him Wild Bill. Hillary Clinton, Crazy Hillary, Crooked Hillary,
nasty woman,
Lion Hillary, and Beautiful Hillary.
Oh, wow.
Who? Ted Cruz, Lion Ted, Ron DeSantis, Rob, Ron DeSanctimonious, Ron DeSanctus, and Meatball Ron.
Jesus. What a jackass.
Jeff Flaky, Bird Brain for Nikki Haley, and Nikki Namrata Haley.
Mm-hmm.
Peekaboo, he called Letitia James.
Who's she?
She's a 36th governor of West Virginia.
Okay.
I'm trying to get into his good names. Broken Old Crow is Mitch McConnell.
He don't like Mitch McConnell. He don't even like Republicans?
No. Wacky Omarosa.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy Nancy, Nervous Nancy, Middle Mike Pence, little Mike Pence.
Oh, Jesus.
Mr. Peepers is Rod Rosenstein. Who else do we know? Bernie Sanders is Crazy Bernie, Crying Chuck, Mr. Magoo, Deranged Jack Smith, Big Luther, Goofy Elizabeth Warren, and Pocahontas.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy Maxine Waters, Low IQ Maxine Waters.
Oh,
that woman from Michigan, Phony Fanny and Youngkin.
And Nikki Haley's Nancy Pelosi.
Kim Jong-un is...
He called her Nancy Pelosi.
He did call her Nancy Pelosi over and over again. Kim Jong-un is Rocket Man and Little Rocket Man.
Oh, my gosh.
Justin from Canada.
Who's that?
Prime Minister of Canada.
Justin Theroux. Jeez Louise. He's unhinged. He's completely unhinged. So anyhow, that's y'all's next future president. Anyhow.
Yeah, that is y'all future.
Oh God, here's more violence against siblings. A missing 10-year-old found stabbed to death in the yard, and the sister is the culprit. I can't see because it has this thing over it.
That's dangerous.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want 10-year-old. 23 lost skiers and snowboarders rescued in Killington, Vermont.
So speaking of this one, have you guys been seeing that movie? What is it? Arrival or Survival or something? It's a true story of a plane that went down. 54 survived and only 13 survived, and it's a story of cannibalism and survival.
So that's old.
It's based off of a true story, and they remade it into a Netflix movie.
Okay.
But yeah, like they was really eating each other after a while, and only like 16 of the whole plane alive. Yes. Have you seen that? No. Are you interested? Are you guys interested in watching things like that? Me either, because I don't want to see them when they was like, oh, who's gonna have to eat them?
I know. That's a remake, 1993.
Yeah. There's a remake of a real life story.
Right, and I don't want to see that because if I go crash on a mountain with anybody, everybody gonna eat good. When there's fat, there's flavor.
Jesus Lord. I thought about that too. Just take me out one time. I don't want to go through the survival. I don't want to do that.
They found all of these people, 23 of them. 23 skiers and snowboarders had to be rescued in frigid temperatures on Saturday after becoming lost in the backcountry in Killington, Vermont. After a call came in around 2:30 p.m., search and rescue crews hiked, snowshoed, and used skis with skins to travel about 5 miles to bring a group of 21 lost skiers and riders back to safety. Temperatures were in the single digits. The skiers and snowboarders wound up up in rescue vehicles on their return. Then another call came for 2 more lost skiers. 6 rescuers went back into the woods, found them, and walked with them safely at about 7:30 p.m. Rescuers included members of Killington Search and Rescue and the Killington Resort Ski Patrol. I wouldn't want either of those jobs. Special thanks should be given to all of the volunteers who responded and worked this call. The police department posted. That's good. I'm glad that they found them all alive and safe because that has to be an awful.
Because would you guys ever
ski? No.
Okay. What about you, Tristan? It seems like something you would try it, But would you go like a cross country skiing with a group of people out in the Adirondacks?
There is a name for that kind of skiing.
It's crazy.
Cross country.
I am a cross country. I'm a novice skier. I am a novice skier. I ain't gonna try. Give me the trail. Tell me where to go. We go up, down, sideways, left. That's cool.
And it got to be a bunny trail. I might try a bunny trail, but I ain't doing no Black Diamond or whatever.
Black Diamond. Going over here where somebody got to come and find me.
The trail that's already there, right?
Yeah. And that's the one that you can still see the shacks and the huts at. Those are the ones I'll go to on Soka Ski Fest, maybe. Where it's right there.
Do people go skiing at Soka Ski Fest?
Yes, they sure do. It's a very small
Can y'all call y'all friend and figure something out?
It's a very small. It's the 10-year anniversary, so man, let's take that around and do the business. Let them do a retreat there.
I was looking at houses to rent. I'll rent a house over there.
No,
you always going above and beyond.
No.
It's sold out.
Is it already?
It's been sold out.
Ay, Dios mío. It's important. Let me tell you why it's important. It's important to get it's important to get into the main hotel because once you're in the main hotel, you don't have to worry about nothing.
They all sold
yeah,
out.
see, that sucks. So you do, that's terrible. It's a lot of A lot of fooping to be going on there, I'll tell you, boy. Sat outside somebody's door one year and listened.
Was it your door?
Sat outside somebody's door.
No, it was. We went. Me and my friend. It was his room. We wasn't going in there to do anything. When we got there, him and his two friends was having competition wars. One was in the bathroom and one was in the other part.
Oh, damn.
So it was very. We sat out there and just laughed. Okay.
Flooping wars.
Flooping.
Damn.
Booting.
That's what y'all do.
Speaking
Y'all
of that,
children's is so nasty.
yesterday, while me and CK were doing our research, he was like, "But how do babies come out of the belly?" And I told him through the vagina. And my guy laughed for like 10 minutes, like tears coming out of his eyes, because it was the funniest thing that somebody could ever say to him, that a baby would come out of vagina.
You should have showed him. Do you have a video of him coming out?
No, somewhere it has to be on some old iPad or something like that, or in the cloud or whatever. But yeah, I just thought it was so funny. It was belly wrenching, tears coming out of his eyes.
I can imagine, because CK doesn't get on with laughing once he starts. So I can imagine the laugh that he had about that.
And it made me laugh because I was like, this couldn't be as funny as I think it is. But when I thought about it, I was just like, that probably is hilarious.
It is quite hilarious, because it's like, what the hell
How the hell is it gonna come out of there, ma?
Yeah, and seriously, why is that where it comes from? Jesus.
Because he was asking me if it came out the butt. And I was like, no. Oh, the dog babies come out of their butt.
Do they? Do they?
Well.
Ain't it all the same on a dog?
Let me ask.
Ain't it all one part?
Where do dog babies come from? Oh, go to the next story.
Speaking of dogs, New Hampshire trio arrested after 15 dogs and a child found living in deplorable conditions. The 3 adults living in the Hootsec, New Hampshire house are scheduled to appear in court next month on charges of child endangerment and animal cruelty. 15 dogs. Oh my gosh. The department received a call on January 16th requesting a welfare check. Go ahead. What'd you say?
It's from the vulva.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where is it? Ain't it there?
They got 2 little holes.
Oh, there. Okay. Ugh. The department received a Yo, that whole thing is crazy to me. Because I'm not one of those moms. So it's like, wow, you really did that, huh? The department received a call on January 6th requesting welfare check at a residence on Merrimack Street in Hooksett, New Hampshire, citing concerns about living conditions and the welfare of the dogs inside, they said. 2 officers went to the home and found its conditions to be deplorable. Inside, they found 7 approximately 12-week-old puppies together in one crate, 4 older puppies together in another crate, and 4 adult dogs loose inside the house. There was no food or water present at the home, and it was covered in feces and urine.
God.
The dogs themselves were covered in feces and were showing signs of various health conditions. Responding officers transported the dogs to the SPCA to receive care. A juvenile was also found to be living at the residence.
What?
More than one juvenile, right? To be living at the residence, prompting a response for the state's Child Protective Services. They said that they are being, the 2 people are being held on each released on $2,500 bail after being charged with 15 counts of animal cruelty and 1 count of endangering the welfare of a child. Patrick Lyles was charged with 15 counts of animal cruelty and released on $1,000 cash bail. They're all going to appear in court on February 29th.
The thing about these things is that it sucks because it's an overwhelming amount of dogs that are in these shelters. Mm-hmm. Like because people are breeding them to try to make money off of them, and people don't necessarily want. If I'm not asking you to do it, why are you breeding so many dogs?
Right.
Now, what you're gonna do with them? How are you gonna take care of them?
And then
what are you gonna do with them?
So they just had them all in these crates together, and they're probably like those little crates. It's not gonna be no big giant crates. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you doing that? That's just cruel and disgusting. Generation Z is losing more money to scams and more than any other age group, according to data. Mm-hmm. And I believe it. Young adults are losing more money to scams than any other age group, according to new data from the Better Business Bureau. Years of data from the BBB and the Federal Trade Commission have shown older adults are prime targets for grifters, and in a way they still are. The latest BBB research shows that while seniors fall for scams more often, Gen Z victims are losing more money. It's somewhat surprising because we've all been, accustomed to hearing that seniors are the biggest targets of scams. But if you think about it, there's so much happening online, and we're seeing the younger generation really becoming victims of online scams.
Have you guys come across any scams, or have you guys ever been? I think you did once,
time.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are the scams like besides like the Cash App ones? Give me $20 and you get $20,000.
To text that come through your phone.
Yeah.
Do you always
there's one that's rampant right now. I can't remember it.
The package delivery.
Yeah, USPS.
Yeah, so it's telling you that you have to pay to pick up your package, but you have to pay this amount or whatever. I get a lot of things that emails that are like, oh, your iPhone is ready to be picked up. All you have to do is make this deposit of whatever. There's another one too. What's the one that I was thinking? Oh, this thing that people are doing on like Facebook and stuff, where they tell you that you can buy a ticket for this amount of money, and then when you get it, then it's or the tickets don't exist or something like that. So this one here says Central Ohio in 2023 from 18 to 23-year-olds include $1,700 lost because of a phony job listing and $690 spent on a pair of Taylor Swift tickets that didn't exist.
Oh, see, those concert things could get you real hard.
The median loss for scam victims aged 18 to 24 is $220, and for victims 65 and older, the median loss is $199. The median loss for victims of all ages is $171, according to the report.
$171. I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, we got scammed out of $40 for some party one time, which wasn't bad. And then some other thing, Tristan, you got.
I was scammed. Yeah, I was scammed out of a costume for Trinidad.
Yeah.
See, these things, I just feel like everybody, I think everybody is in jeopardy of the scale of this.
When we were in Miami,
yeah,
and I was looking to buy tickets for that party, remember?
Oh, yep.
And then somebody, the party was sold out, and then all of a sudden I went and I looked on Eventbrite, and there were tickets that were reopened. Mm-hmm. So we reopened these tickets, da-da-da-da-da, go ahead and you can go ahead and buy them. And when I don't know what it was, but then they text me. Mm-hmm. And was like, oh, we saw that you were interested in these tickets. Just Cash App us this money, something like that. And I was like, nah, that doesn't seem right. So people are scamming.
It's them event things too. They like to make other pages with all of the same information.
And that's what they did because it was listed on Eventbrite.
And I think that is the most scary part, because how do you really kind of
you gotta see who the group is, who the person
organizer is.
It's crazy.
That is interesting.
These two little crazy stories that are the last ones here. Four women shot to death in a suburban Chicago home. 4 women are dead following a shooting in suburban Chicago on Sunday. Women.
Really?
The domestic incident took place in Tinley Park, a suburb 55,000 people 30 miles south of downtown Chicago, at about 11:20 a.m. Carr said the victims were shot to death during a domestic incident in a home. When police arrived at 11:30 a.m., officers found 4 women dead in the home, all from apparent gunshot wounds. Police say during an update at 3 p.m. local time that a male suspect in custody and a weapon was recovered. Details surrounding the incident are still scant. They said during the news conference that there is no threat to the public. This was isolated to the home. The scene is secure. There is only one suspect at the time. The incident frightened those who live nearby, of course. Charges against the man in custody are pending. The identities of the victims has not been disclosed, and the investigation remains ongoing. Somebody says, my daughter knows them. She went to school with the oldest son, and she employed the twin sisters. She always talked about how they were very intelligent, and they had very high goals in life. So I guess that's a developing story, and we'll hear more about that.
That is awful.
This WTF story right here. Prosecutors say that a Kansas couple lived with dead relatives for 6 years and collected over $216,000 in retirement benefits.
Where did they have them?
Where did they have them?
6 years, huh?
6 years.
6.
A Kansas couple has been charged with fraudulently collecting a dead relative's retirement benefits while they hid his body in their home for more than 6 years.
One more time. 6 years. Where did you keep them?
Child, what is
in the freezer?
Reading?
Did they disable them, put them in the freezer?
I would hope so, at least, right? I don't know. Federal prosecutors allege that Lynn and Kirk Ritter, both 61, cashed in more than $216,000 from Michael Carroll's pension and Social Security Administration benefits, according to an indictment obtained by the USA. Carroll, who was a retired telecommunications employee, began receiving retirement benefits in 2008 and received them until November of 2022. How many years is that? 2008 to 2022.
14.
Yeah. He is say Carroll's pacemaker showed that he died in 2016 at 81 years old. They didn't discover his body until 2022 after his son-in-law reported his death.
That's really 6 years.
Yeah.
How come his son-in-law didn't know to report it before?
I don't know. They continue to receive payments and to prevent from losing his bank account. The couple each face 1 count of wire fraud and 2 counts of theft of government funds, which could be, according to the indictment, they are going to appear in court on February 2nd. Lynn, who is Carroll's daughter, so this is her father, was cited as his primary caretaker. After his death, the Ritters continued using his home as their official residence, but did not report his death to the authorities and his account. Prosecutors say the couple deposited unauthorized checks. I don't know where it says, but it says somewhere there that his body was mummified.
Laying down in a separate room for 6 years?
Lying in a bed.
Shut up.
In a mummified state.
You shut up right now. Read it again from the top of the sentence all the way, because I want to know what you're saying to me.
On October 23rd, 2022, Kirk Ritter contacted the Overland Park Police Department and reported Carroll's death. The indictment says law enforcement arrived at the residence to discover Carroll laying in a bed in a mummified state. It was later determined that he had died around July 1st of 2016.
Read more.
Family members told the Kansas City Star that the Ritters would repeatedly give them excuses about why Carroll could never take a phone call or visit, leading them to believe that Carroll was still alive. We were denied contact with him, and now we know why. They reported that the police initially investigated the case as a suspicious death, but the county medical examiner later determined Carroll died of natural causes. He was dead in a mummified state in their house.
I still want more detail.
For 6 years.
He was in a mummy. Did they wrap him?
That's what I'm saying.
And then what about the stench and the smell of I mean, I guess after the first year, you might get used to the smell and maybe it might start to regulate inside of the household.
Nobody else ever visited their house?
For 6 years?
For 6 years?
That's wild.
And then I wonder what what was his come to Jesus moment where he was like, maybe we should report this guy now.
And did what was the relationship?
So the guy's name was something Carroll.
No. What was the relationship to the dead person? Were they in the room, checking on it, reading books, laying down next to it, talking? Was it for sentimental value? What, Tristan?
I'm pretty sure they had never opened that room once that man died. Why would you? That door was duct tape shut.
But why would you leave it in a room in the house? Why wouldn't you put him down in the basement? Or maybe they did, and then they brought him back up after they called the police.
But maybe why wouldn't you bury it in the backyard and still collect it? If you're going to have it sleep, like, do you need a proof of life? Like, oh, we want to make a virtual visit with the patient to see how they're doing.
How did y'all
They're
mummify
sleeping.
It? Did they?
Wrapped it in sheets.
They wrapped it up?
And probably put little... I don't know, because the smell, this is what I'm thinking about. I thought that dead people smell after a little while. They still got all their organs and everything inside of it.
Every time you say the smell, my body shuts down because I'm like, what? Are you talking about the smell?
I'm pretty sure that these people, something wasn't right with them.
Yes. I don't, something is not right. It never will be right. It's not okay. That's the national news. I'm done. I'm done.
And we're gonna go to a quick commercial break because I too am done because I'm confused today on what we've been reading. A mummified state for 6 years in a room.
Your father
laying down. Golly, we'll be right back.
Ain't that desecration of the body?
Terrible.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Turn it on.
Turn it up.
This is SparkFMOnline.com.
Hello, I'm Marissa Jarrett Winokur. Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. 1 in every 4 Americans is infected with HPV. For many people, the virus hides inside them, and they never develop symptoms. But for others, HPV links directly to cancer. My cancer almost ended my career. It almost ended me. The good news is, there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. The HPV vaccine is recommended for children 11 to 12 years old, and a catch-up vaccine may be an option for teens and young adults. Talk to your doctor. You don't want HPV hiding inside of you. Go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more. Together, we can stop cancer before it starts.
Advertise your business, brand, or music on Spark FM. Contact us at sparkfmonline.com for more information.
The all-new Spark FM.
Them no like me, I mean I like them.
Spark FM.
Come on.
Spark FM.
Chick a man be ballin', leave chicks pigeon toed, some of them be crawling.
Spark FM.
Oh gosh, it's me again.
New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
Often I hear people talking about how high their electricity bills are. Massachusetts has programs that everyday homeowners pay for, but never look into it.
Second of all, quick question. How many of you people that are listening right now are going to Trinidad and Tobago for the carnival experience? I gotta know so that I can block you. You know, nothing personal. It's just
I don't know, but I haven't heard of a lot of people who are going.
I have. There's a lot of new people going down too.
Really?
Like I know Fenna, she's going down for this is her first carnival experience ever in life.
Oh, and she's jumping in,
I said,
diving in
wow,
big.
You're going into the deep end immediately.
Yes.
I respect that. That
Wow.
is interesting to me. So yeah, I want to go, but I'm not gonna go right now. Let's get into this. We don't really talk about this person because we left him in 2023. Just a little quick. Blueface is out of general population and nobody cares. He should just be in. I don't know why we keep getting news about him when
she likes him a lot.
She does.
Why?
I don't know.
He's newsworthy. He's headlining.
Yo Gotti is back on stage just 1 week after his brother Big Juke's death. So last week we heard that Yo Gotti lost his brother Big Juke, and he's back on stage. I noticed that artists, I'm wondering if that's a form of therapy too, and just kind of like a stress relief when you get to go back on stage and just kind of leave it all on the stage or whatever. It reminds me of Patrice Roberts. She's been performing in Trinidad and stuff like that, and I'm wondering, like, how do you get through that performance when you have such heavy things on your heart? But it has to be some type of therapy or something that people get to connect with when they perform. Because I don't think I could. I'd be like, oh, no.
That's tough.
Kanye West called a hypocrite over latest Bianca Censori photos. This girl, we're going to hear about her in a few years, right?
Yeah,
like something ain't right.
Yeah.
There's a mental detachment that is happening within that relationship. And maybe I'm just, maybe she's the happiest person in the world. I don't know. She doesn't seem happy to me. She literally seems like an AI bot.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I've seen her in Black Mirror. In that episode where the lady's husband died and then they get him back in a box, but he's a robot.
Yeah.
That's who she is.
Or she seems like, remember that fembots that have the boobs with the guns in them?
Oh.
Yeah, baby, yeah. What's the name of that? What's the name of that movie? Yeah, baby, yeah. It is this one.
Maybe.
$1 billion.
Whatever.
What's it? $1 billion.
Gold member.
Gold member and them like that.
Dr. Evil.
Yeah, but what's the name of the movie?
Dr. Evil.
No, the name of the movie is called...
Oh, Goldfinger.
No. Not Pet Detective.
Austin Powers?
Austin Powers.
Yes.
Goldfinger.
Is it Austin Powers? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Goldfinger.
Yes.
Gold member.
Gold member.
Gold member. So in a series of snaps posted to Instagram on Saturday, January 20th, Ye's wife of 1 year can be seen in various states of undress, from wearing what looks like a black garbage bag to wearing nearly nothing at all, a string covering her Lucantunes. Fans couldn't help but wonder about the true dynamic of their relationship, with many taking to the comments to express their concern and displeasure. Why do you exploit this poor woman? I don't think she's a poor woman. I think that she likes to be it. Shame on you. You need therapy, sir, wrote a commenter, while another cited West's ex-wife Kim Kardashian as an example of how hypocrisy really is. I remember the episode where he was telling Kim he didn't want her to expose herself so much. Poor girl being degraded on the daily. I remember that episode too, when he was all upset and the world was on his side, like he doesn't want his wife out here showing all of her business. But them same MFs, they ain't saying nothing about this little clone out here half naked all the damn time in the middle of the winter with a piece of panty and a shirt. Not even a shirt, because I've never seen that girl with a shirt on before.
Plastic mask on her.
Yesterday, he had posted a picture of her, and it said something like cream of wheat.
Yeah.
And then Tyrese posted a picture of a black girl and was like, all wheat, no cream.
Yeah, it's all the cream. And it was like, for the first time, Tyrese finally came back with some. Because it was true. Like, I'm not sure. Kanye's been doing this a lot to her, and I don't know if it's a marketing ploy. I don't really understand it. But every picture that Kanye posts of his wife is a naked picture.
Yeah.
Is a naked picture of that woman, and I don't get it.
Kanye got an addiction to porn.
Oh,
does he?
But in return, it's always such a stark contrast between what Kanye wears, and maybe that's a thing. He's always in full black, baggy, homeless wear. Yep. And she's always in some type of nude. Nowhere. Yep. Like nothing.
Yep.
A thong bodysuit with no shape. And she don't have a lot of shape. Yeah. And does she speak? She's supposed to be really smart and an architect and all of these things.
He got one of them Cat Williams kind of girlfriends, light skin, don't speak.
Industry plant.
Yeah.
Because have you ever seen Kanye in front of a large crowd?
He must have signed up to the program.
He must. So we don't know what to do about this. I don't know how I feel about the woman. She's probably really happy to be just Kanye's wife.
Give her free.
Give her free.
Give it that free.
Give her free.
Sexy Red teases baby daddy's identity in a not so safe for work shower clip. Sexy Red has shared another photo of her father of her unborn child, in which his face isn't shown.
Full out pictures of the father the other day, didn't we?
When they took the
they never showed a face.
He was always turned to the other way.
Oh, I thought
But the way he's chosen to hide his identity this time has indefinitely raised eyebrows. So in every okay. Oh my. That's how he's hiding his face.
Let me see.
On Saturday, the St. Louis native I'd just be so exasperated. Native took to Instagram and her Instagram stories to share a number of clips from her baby shower. Of those, the only one to make it to her main timeline was a video of herself bent over, looking into the camera as a man crouches behind her with his face seemingly buried between her butt cheeks.
I had the baby shower.
As one bystander reacts to the couple's chosen pose, Sexy Red jokes, "My bad if my booty stank." She used the same phrase as the caption in her post. Earlier this month, the ski rapper teased the man's identity and since deleted IG posts. On January 11th, she uploaded pictures from a maternity shoot features her and an unnamed man canoodling as they wait the birth of their child.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I watched the video myself. I mean,
she about to be the first one to get on the rocket.
Yeah, we're gonna leave her in 2024.
Yep, Sexy Red.
Actually, we're gonna actually put her
Anybody
in the
with
rocket,
colors.
and we're gonna send her back to 2023. We'll leave her there, and then we'll come back and resume normal programming. Because we cannot deal with this anymore. Kendra Wilkinson defends not mourning Hugh Hefner's.
Who's Kendra Wilkinson?
She was one of his girlfriends.
Oh.
Let's get that. Shannon Sharp reacts to SNL spoof of his Cat Williams Club Shay Shay interview.
hilarious.
Let's go to that because that's a nice thing because the rest of this is foolishness. Hold on a second.
We're gonna do the audio because I know they're gonna just flag us if we do the video.
Okay, so and the audio was just as funny. You can tell who is who. I thought it was hilarious because it pointed out like the major points in all of the interview in general. So that was pretty cool. As Christmas brings it up right now.
Hey, you can't be calling me Christmas. You see what he said about people calling grown man call you Christmas. Y'all hear that?
Come on now. The Club Shay Shay interview. Cat Williams keeping it completely real.
3 things are true about me. I am 5'3". I have never told a lie, and I am 6'3". Look, Hollywood created Kevin Hart. Everybody knows that Kevin was made in the same factory where they make Teddy Graham.
That can't be true.
Then why the hell he smelled like cinnamon?
The original running time nearly 3 hours, but now there's more. 8 hours more. Get ready for Club Shay Shay the extended cut. Now on
Who's
YouTube.
playing Shannon?
See Cat Williams take on everyone in Hollywood and beyond.
Look, I don't mess with Barack Obama.
Oh, no,
I
not-
don't trust
no,
nobody whose
not
name is
Shannon.
all vowels.
What?
Why my mouth gotta be open so long?
Okay, he's a hero.
What'd he do, Shannon? You know his slogan, yes we can? I came up with that. Before me, he was saying probably. I think we might. I was supposed to be an avatar. James Cameron begged me to be in it. He said, I'll suck your penis in front of all the Navy. There was people in the room.
Be honest, James Cameron said that.
Call him right now. The Navy was there. There's too many Gretas in the world. You don't think it's strange that all these women got the same name? Greta Gerwig, Greta Thunberg, doing all that talking. You need to Greta job.
Greta job.
You don't challenge me, Shannon.
Yo,
I'm the
son.
one who invented fruit.
Now, Cat, you ain't invent no fruit.
Before me, trees wasn't bringing nothing to the table.
Cat Williams tells it all. Hard truths, celebrity stories, and stuff we still trying to figure out.
I'm in amazing shape, I'm handsome, athletic, and I can hold my breath for 27 years. Matter of fact, I'll race you right now.
Now, how you gonna do that, Cat?
Come on, let's race right now. See? I just beat you. Shannon, I am the only man in history to say all the words ever in one single word. Blumana Pazori. There it is.
What is that? Blumana Pazori.
Is Cat Williams at his most honest and getting deep?
Now, my boy, Camus rejected any theory that argued that the ends justified the means. And every pimp knows that there are no transcendent ends.
So what that mean, Cat?
Steve Harvey cannot read.
Oh, why you gotta do Steve like that?
The man is looking at the teleprompter and just guessing. That's why he be on Family Feud all the time like, who watched?
Who what? Hours. Go ahead and take the day off of work.
That's a big glass of cognac.
8 hours.
8 hours. I had 3 things is true. I'm 5'3". I can read all the books. I've never lied before in my life, and I'm 6'3".
That was funny. That was funny.
I love it. I'm glad that I'm hoping that people didn't take that interview too. I feel like it was an entertainment. I think it was
entertainment.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody should ever have gotten mad about that. It seemed like comedy.
Dave Chappelle had something to say about it.
Yeah, he did. Here's that right here. During the conversation, Williams took to Here's what Dave Chappelle said about Cat Williams' viral sit-down. According to Verity, Chappelle shared his thoughts on Williams while performing at Monterey's. Fellow comedian D. Ray Davis hosted the event at the Hollywood Improv on Friday, the 19th. And he said, the outlet reports, I love everybody, but I love Cat Williams more than a lot of people. And that N-word is wild. All right. I'm at war with the Illuminati too. But what part of the war is ethering Cedric the Entertainer? Cedric, that dude, he's old, he's fat. Leave that N-word alone. Steve Harvey doesn't even do this anymore. So he didn't really get at him. You know why this, he says,
well, they were going back and forth.
He said something like, why are you painting ugly pictures of us or something like that?
During his set, Chappelle called out D. Ray for saying that what Williams did was good for comedy. D. Ray defended his stance by explaining that Williams shined a lot of light on the comedy world when things were starting to get boring. You know why I disagree? It's because I put a special out the same day, he replied. So did he say anything? What did he say? What did you guys say?
Him and D. Ray, they basically got into it. They were basically going back and forth on stage, and they were just just
this
saying
is
their
Dave
stance.
Chappelle and D. Ray?
Dave Chappelle and D. Ray, yeah.
As Chappelle continued, he pointed out more things about Williams' viral statement. He says he only ethered Negroes.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything about any of those white boys. None of these white boys function like that. And Cat is one of the best painters in the game. So why is he drawing all ugly pictures of us? Stop, he continued. I get it. I get that sentiment. But I also get that in comedy, like Dave Chappelle continues to do, you say what you want to say.
Yeah, there's no like
rules,
honor or loyalty or nothing like that. And it's not to be malicious. It's just
there's
it's
a
comedy.
difference. What Cat did was very malicious. He didn't come on there with good intentions.
You think so?
I mean, he said a lot of untruths about a lot of people.
Right, and that's why, as Sauce said, I would hope that people didn't take it too seriously and take it too offensively and just take it as this was comedy.
If he wasn't so serious, they would have took it a little easier. But he came on there so serious, you know.
And finally, he said, "And this Negro's the arbitrator of truth. Listen, I F with Cat hard, but what part of the game F's up another N-word's paper? What part of the game is about telling another N-word? About telling on another N-word? I don't disagree with Cat. He's telling the real ish. Yes, that is true. But why would you say that? Because of all of us just trying to be in a better situation," he said. And that might be true too, because one thing that the world was able to point out is that a lot of the things he spoke about the actual comedians, they didn't debunk it at all. None of them came out and said, you know, that's not true, and here is proof to why.
A lot of them came out and said that. A lot of them did.
Like whom?
Ricky Smiley?
Everyone came out.
Ricky Smiley didn't say anything. He didn't say that it was wrong what he said. He just painted a different truth of it.
He didn't say that it was true what he said, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not saying it wasn't true, and they're not saying it is true. So what is the whatever? I do agree with you that if he opened up the world of comedy, he should have went after all of the comedians, white men too, and I think that would he did. Yeah. Yep, he did. He definitely did.
Anybody that was younger than him, he had nothing negative to say. Anybody that was above him, he had something to say. Like, come on, dude.
Is Kevin Hart older than him?
No, he's younger. But Kevin Hart, he considers Kevin Hart
anybody that has a bigger career than him.
Okay. That's what. Okay,
you know.
I see what you mean.
So that's Cat Williams, and you know,
Tory Lanez, man. That's him.
Tory Lanez. I can see that. They're tiny little small men like this. Very compact.
Talented, but don't know how to just prove their stuff with their goddamn talent.
That's true. Because Tory Lanez is talented. I'll give him that.
He's extremely talented. Yeah. And it's a damn shame how talented he is.
People like them I want to like. But I don't like them because I see what they are.
I can feel you. I could get you. I get you.
Yeah.
Jury selection begins in trial of 2 men accused of murder of Run DMC's Jam Master Jay. Oh, wow. Jury selection begins on Monday in the trial of 2 men charged in the 2002 murder of Jason Mizell, better known as Jam Master Jay of Run DMC. Ronald Washington, 59, is charged alongside Carl Jordan, 40, who was 18 when he allegedly gunned down Mizell in a Queens recording studio in October of 2002. On October 30th, 2002, Mizell and several others were present at his recording studio, 24/7 studio, located on the Merrimack Boulevard in Queens. According to prosecutors, at approximately 7:30 p.m., Washington and Jordan entered the studio, both brandishing firearms. Washington allegedly pointed the firearm at one of the individuals located inside of the studio and demanded that the person lie on the floor. Authorities said Jordan approached Mizell, pointed his firearm at him, and fired 2 shots at close range. Damn. According to officials, one of those shots struck Mizell in the head, killing him. The second shot struck another individual in the leg. Jordan and Washington were charged with murdering Jam Master Jay while engaged in cocaine trafficking, according to the indictment from the Eastern District of New York that was charged the 2 men with drug offenses.
Yeah.
Jordan was arrested in 2020 after allegedly attempting to sell drugs to an undercover law enforcement officer. Washington was in prison on a prior robbery case when he was indicted. Both have pleaded not guilty. That's a damn shame.
That's crazy.
So did they go in to kill him, or was it a robbery?
They went in the studio.
Yeah, so with the intention of killing him?
Because they said that they
because that's
pointed
like an
him.
execution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close range, police never released a motive for Jam Master Jay's killing, but federal prosecutors said as they indicted Washington and Jordan in 2020 that the motive for killing resulted from Jay's previous acquisition of approximately 10 kilograms of cocaine from a narcotic supplier in the Midwest. The cocaine was allegedly intended to be distributed in Maryland by Washington. Jordan and other co-conspirators, prosecutors previously said. The jury chosen to in Brooklyn federal court to hear the case will be anonymous. Opening statements are scheduled for January 29th. A third person, Jay Bryant, was also charged in the murder of the hip-hop star in May 2023. His lawyer successfully argued for his case to be severed from the other 2. He has pleaded not guilty as well. He was shot in the head at point-blank range with a 40 caliber handgun.
He had the cocaine that they were supposed to distribute?
So it looks like it. Like he must have gathered. It was a cocaine situation, and you know, when you deal with somebody's coke. Allegedly. Until after the case, and then we can strong arm it. And then last but not least, Candace Dogface Owens thinks the Munchkins in The Wizard of Oz performed a satanic ritual.
Yeah.
She's a satanic
Candace
ritual.
Owens and the other one, they related, huh?
Who is it?
Omarosa?
Not Omarosa. He related to them too.
Tim Scott?
Damon Dash, Stacey Dash.
Stacey Dash.
Candace Owens and Stacey Dash. They twins.
They're the same kind of
Damon
fool.
Dash, he related them right there too.
Yep.
So she says, Owens says she took these comments so seriously that she discussed them with her fellow Daily Wire host and professional anti-trans troll Matt Walsh. Owens was apparently responding to posts she'd seen on Black Twitter, arguing that Dorothy, in fact, murdered the witch and stole her shoes. An infamous 1998 newspaper description of the film attributed to writer Rick Polito made a similar argument. However, in the film, a tornado causes Dorothy's house to accidentally fall on the witch. It's crazy that this is the conversation that is happening amongst the Republican
people who
elite.
are smart. Or supposed to be.
So her theory, what really took place in the scene, she says before the Wicked Witch of the West, if that's what we're calling her, shows up, the Munchkins, Oompa Loompas, whatever you want to call them, are throwing a party while there is a dead person under a house. And they're skipping with Dorothy singing Ding Dong, the witch is dead, which there's a dead person at center, right? An approximate, just a note, revolution, I don't know. There's somebody that's dead and they're dancing and saying, "Witch, old witch, the wicked witch." Owens continued working herself into a proper performative lather before delivering her thesis. Obviously, this is some of the most satanic rituals. She said, so I want to make it clear that they're having a satanic ritual. Crystal clear. It's the only reason you've had a dead person and dance around them. Literally no other reason. Never mind, the dead witch sounded like a tyrant. Case closed.
You are supposed to be an intellectual woman, and this is a conversation that you are having and entertaining and being made public.
About the Wizard of Oz that contains a scarecrow with no courage and a tin man with no heart and a woman who flew up in a tornado. And this is the intellectual conversations in which you're having with your colleagues about satanic rituals.
Yes.
Should we remove it from the movies? Was that the bottom line?
I don't know. Why
How did we get into?
Why did you have that conversation in the first place?
I got it.
You saw it on Black Twitter and you felt the need to react to it?
They were high, and that's a high conversation.
Yes.
Because you get really deep into the theories of foolishness.
This is
so
true.
now we're sitting around like some shrooms, and we're discussing the fact that was it a satanic ritual if they were dancing because the witch who was violating them and causing them havoc had died under her house.
Yes.
And so Dorothy taking the red shoes was also a satanic. What?
And what if it was a satanic ritual? It's a freaking movie.
It's
Are
a
you kidding
mythical.
me?
It's a mythical, unreal movie.
Yes, it did not happen. So, goodbye. I got to go. I can't. This is too much on a Monday for me. I'm tired, y'all. I was tired. I said.
And that's how we're gonna end the morning news right there with the foolishness because you know there ain't nothing else that we can say or do about it. It's just what it is.
There was just a whole bunch of foolishness in all of these news today.
This is what happens over the weekend when it's cold. People say and do weird things, and sorry we had to bring it to you, but that is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Carlos Enriquez will be here to talk a little politics with us tomorrow morning. So make sure politics. So make sure that you guys keep it locked. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Spread the word. Spread the word. If y'all need flyers, then we got those coming up too. Right. Yes. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Saucy and Friends in the morning. We outside.
Aloha.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Let's start with the big question.
The all new Spark FM.